Okay guys, I hope you are able to see my screen, everyone. So this is the that we are learning Python, and in the very first we are going to create a variable amount, and we have put the 20. Okay now. So here in the like the C++ or Java, you don't need to be use the type casting like int just before creating a variable is not uh, it's not necessary. Means you have to create a variable directly from the using the variable name and just put the variable name. So and later that we are going to learn the print hello world, and we are going to use the we are here to teach you how to run a cell in a Jupyter notebook or a Colab by using the click on this, or also you have to use shift or enter simultaneously. If you clicking shift and enter simultaneously, it will be run this code. I will repeat again, shift and enter. So running this cell, you have to click shift plus enter. You have to running this cell, shift plus enter, or click the play button, or click play button. Sorry, button. So I'm going to be comment this line. So this is the two-way running this click code. So we are here to learn that and whenever you run this cell, so by using shift plus enter, the new cell will be created for you. If there no new cell be created, so you can be create a cell by using the this plus button, and you can be upgrade and downgrade the cell as you want. Okay. So now the print hello world is like printing anything. If you print the amount because amount is defined in this cell, so you can use also in this cell. So you can also by using shift plus enter, you see the 20 will be output. Okay, let's first understand about the variable. Since you didn't use the any typecasting things like int or so on, anything like and these things will be like and you directly create a variable. What will be happen if the same variable I am creating amount, and this time I'm using some like a string thing. If you know about the string is just like a text. We will be creating a text for a variable by using a double quotation mark or single quotation mark. Suppose hello world I'm using again, or hi world. Hello world I am not repeating. Hi world I'm putting. What will happen? So your amount is a number, as the value is 20, but you are creating a variable amount and you pass the same different type of value. Not you have a pass like 30. It's like seems like a word, but what will happen? It's like high word. So you are like updating the variable amount, and now your value is high word. If you writing like print amount here and print amount here, okay now. First we will print amount and then update the value of amount and print amount again. And if you are using any other programming language like C and C++ plus Java, you switch the type int a is equal to 20, means whenever you update the value of a, you have to use some number. You can't use the like the string value. Even you can't use the float number. Okay now. So if you run this cell, so you can see that it work, and first time it will be written 20 and it will return the high word. Okay now. So this is that you are seeing that high word and this thing will be working, means you understand, and maybe you are confused that oh, so it will be pretend that 20 is a string, but no, not this is possible. But if you checking the type thing, what the type of type if you creating a variable in C++ Java this way, means you know about the type. Type A is a type is like a string, or sorry, number. If talking about this amount in the like the C++ and Java, like amount, you see there's a string, and every time you have update the value of same string. So what the type and how the type will be defined? Suppose I print another statement here, and Python has a type function. Python has a type function. You have to type and pass the variable name. Okay, pass the variable name. Okay, just you have to run this cell again. Okay. When you run this cell, you can see the code here. First, the 20 will be output, and you see the int will be the given. Means this is a number, and then high value printed, and then a string number. How this is possible? That one variable had two types. One variable has two types. So this is the feature about the Python, and this is very important question about through the interview room, that Python is a dynamic typed programming language. Okay, Python is a type programming language, dynamic type programming. The type will be decided according to the value. The type will be decided according to the value. If a value is like number, the type is a number. If a value is like a string, the type is a str. So this called the Python is a dynamic type programming language. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, now if you are learning Python programming language or any programming language, you have to know about this sentence. Suppose you are creating another variable amount is equal to 10, not semicolon, don't need to be semicolon, and if you write amount is equal to amount plus 10. Okay, let me understand this, the code. What is the meaning of this? The very first line means you are creating a variable amount. Okay, and in this case the amount is like a value, and then equal to sign, and again amount variable you are using, and then plus thing and 10. It is the meaning that you are updating a variable. If you are using amount 30, means you are updating a variable, new value 30. If you are like 10 plus 30 or 10 plus 20, means you are updating a variable by 10 plus 30, which is the 10 plus 20, which is the 30, but you are using tag by 10 and plus 20. The same thing, if you are writing this thing like amount plus 20, what is the meaning that? Means you are creating a variable 10 and variable is amount, and you are creating a, like updating the variable of amount by the plus 20 and the oldest value of amount. Now if in this case, what will be the output? Okay, and if you amount equal to amount plus 20 again, okay, what is the output? So what will happen? If you run this cell, you can see that first the 30 will be the output, and then 50 will be the output. Means you upgrade the value by using the oldest value and plus 20. Now the amount value is 30, and again you write this line, amount is equal to amount plus 20. Means you are updating the value of amount by using the oldest value of amount plus 20, and now the value of oldest value is the amount is 30, because just before coming this line of code, we already update the value by the 20, and we are printing the amount, and we will get the 50. So this is the meaning of amount equal to amount plus 20. Means what we learn in this case? We learn that variable in the left side is a different meaning, on the right side and different meaning. In the left side, if you are using a variable, means you are going to update. In the left hand, In the right hand side, if you are using a variable, means you are going to use their value. Means in the left hand side means you are going to update, in the right hand side means you are going to use this value. This is the meaning of this thing. Okay. So I'm going to be like need to be add another one cell, and this will be like that. Okay. Python has a like every programming language you see that amount plus 20 is that you can see and you print. If you suppose you create a same value or amount and you put like 3, and if you amount is equal to amount multiply by 3, where is the asterisk? This is the asterisk for the multiplication. When you print this amount, okay, sorry, not in it. Okay, you can see that it is very easy, sir, just like 3 and 3 is equal to 9. But if you are creating a variable amount, in this case, just use another variable. Amin. Okay, no? And if okay, this is a different thing. If you using a text format or a string and you multiply by this thing, what will be happen? You run this cell, you can see the Amin printed multiple times or 3 times. Means the asterisk or the multiplication thing will be the multiplication thing for the number will be using the mathematical operation, but in the case you are using the number for a string, it will be the update the value for the multiple times or maybe the times we are using for the multiplication. This is the feature about the Python, the basic feature of the Python. So now come to the basic point. I am going to be like some basic data types and the arithmetic operation in the Python. Listen carefully. I am going very slowly. So like suppose creative value amount again and 20. If you checking their type, what will happen? The type will be printed as an int, and you can see this number is as a float. Means any decimal number like in the point format is called with a float number. And if you are talking like a variable is hello world.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what will be the output if we put name is equals to name plus 3?
Okay. Actually, I will repeat. I will write this code. Name plus 3 will be not working. I hope so. If you write directly the plus thing in with a string is not possible in the Python. It will return an error. Okay, now because the concatenation thing means you can't add string and number directly. Okay, now so it will not return. You have to convert to this number to a string like 3, then you have to use. Okay, the plus operator with a string and number is not possible. You have to convert the number with a string by using the str class, and in that case you have to this number will convert to a string, and that plus operator will be work. Okay, now and that
Okay, sir.
okay, that this thing will be I'm going to repeat in the in the end of this video, but don't worry. Thank you for asking for this question. Okay, now okay, every time we have a type, you will see that the type will be like the str, and you will see that, listen carefully, if you don't need to be print every time, if you see that I am going to be end of this like type amount, it will return the str. Means at the end of the cell, if you want to be like print in the cell, then you don't need to be every time you have to print, you directly have to pass the variable, it will the print automatically. Okay, so this is a thing. So come to the, this is some number and the some checking the type of the like you use type. The two types of number are possible in the Python. Basically three types, but third type I'm not going to teach you because I'm not going to use in this third type in never. This is like the complex number. The first number is like int, and second is a float number. Everyone know the float number is just like a number which in the have a decimal point, and the number is like a whole number or a natural number, which is like a or integer number. It is just like a int. So first of all we are going to use arithmetic operation. You also in the add some text in a cell like okay. Arithmetic means mathematical calculation in the Python. So suppose if you have a number like a is equal to 2 or 3 and b is equal to 5, and there are lots of things that are possible. Just use the variable like 5 and 3, and if you like print arithmetic operation means there is a multiple arithmetic operation is possible. First like the plus operator to adding two number, negative operator for difference between two number, and multiply the number and divide the number, and this is the number. Okay, so tell me what the output is this. If a plus b, if you are running this cell, it is the like the 8 is the output, a minus b is the 2 is the output, a into b is the 15 is the output, a slash b means this is the division and this is the mod. Okay, people are really confused. What about this plus sign? Mod is just like a remainder. If you are dividing by 5 or 3, what is the quotient and what is the remainder? The remainder will be displayed by the mod sign. Okay, by 5 2, if you are running this cell, if you see that the output is this. Okay, now output is this 1 2 3 and 6, the 8 12 15 and 2. And why the 2 is a mod, mod b is why the 2 is output? Because the remainder, when you divide 5 by 3, the quotient will be 1 and the remainder will be 2. So how it get the quotient? Quotient will we have to go from a double slash and b. If you write this code and you print these things, you will get the quotient will be as output as a 1. Apart from this, there are some other things like a power of thing. Suppose a multiply double asterisk means it is the meaning of a raised to the power b. If you printing this line, it will be written 125 means 5 raised to the power 3. It will define by this double asterisk sign. See, this is some basic mathematical operation in the Python, and Python also follow the paired mass rule. Also the paired mass rule. In the very childhood called is the board mass rule, but nowadays the people are using the paired mass rule. Paired mass means the parenthesis, exponential, and the like division, multiplication, and the addition and subtraction. This is the some paired mass rule that I am using. Suppose if you have a number like 8 plus 2 multiplied by 3. If this Python is not follow the paired mass rule, then the output will be like 8 plus 2 10 and 30. But if you see that the output will be getting like 14, because first of all the paired mass rule will multiply this number and then add this number, and 2 3 is 6 and 8 plus 6 is equal to 14. That because of this is the follow the paired mass rule. Don't worry guys, at the end of this video I will share this this notebook with you that you have to learn very. So now this is some mathematical arithmetic operation. Now we are going to be use some built-in function. Python has a built-in function. Built-in function means the function is already defined. Suppose you have a type function, okay, you have a print function, okay. Same as the print and type function, the Python has a built-in function. Suppose if you want to be some absolute number, if you suppose a is equal to 20 and b is equal to minus 20, and if you want to get the absolute value. Absolute value means only the positive value will be coming from this, or mod value, because also say that. Then the Python has some function called the absolute value, absolute function. If you pass the a, if you want to put multiple print a statement, you have to use the print. If you see that the two type of output, and the 2020 is the output will be possible because of both value of absolute function. And same as if you have the Python has a max function, if the max 2 3, and also Python has a mean function to minimum to getting the minimum number. If you see that in the first case the 3 is the auto because the max will return the largest value of the 3, and the mean return the minimum value. Like in the C++ and Java, only two input will be possible, but in the case of Python, multiple types of multiple argument will be passing in this case, and in this way that you have to get 5 and 1 is the output. This is the some mathematical operation and some built-in function. Okay. Now I am going to start the very important topic in the programming language. Is called the creating a function. Okay, everyone want to be creative person in any programming language. So if you want to create a function in a programming language, you have to be create in a Java. You have to write or in a Python you have to write the void, main. This is the way that you have to creating a function. But in the case of Python, for creating a function, you have to write the function. Sorry, not function. A keyword name is def. Okay, def, and you have to then after def you have to like the write the function name is like print get my name, and same as you have to use the parentheses, and sorry, here you have to brackets, and in the Python, in the like C and C++ Java, you have to use the this sign, the parenthesis sign. But in this case of like Python, you have to use, instead of this you have to use this name. Okay, get name, and this is called like okay, the get name. And in this case you see this get name will be like getting the output, and in this name return. So let's listen carefully what the function is that. This get name is a function name, and the def is a keyword to define a function, and this parenthesis instead of like this sign, Python uses this. Okay, means whenever you create a function like this way, like in a Python or in a Java and like this way, so you know this is a parenthesis sign. Everything inside this function will be included in this function, and it will decide about the parenthesis. If the every code under this parenthesis means the every code is under the function. But in this Python, how you decide this which type of code will be included in the Python? Suppose you write print, so this thing, so this print thing is inside this function or outside the function. So this is possible by this function. Whenever you use this colon in the Python will take some spaces, and it will be like if the take spaces, you have to follow those spaces. A plus B is under the function, B plus A is under the function. But if you go to this like A and C, it is a violate the rule and it is not under the function, and you have to getting any error. So instead of parentheses, the Python follow the colon, and colon means you have to take some spaces, and all the code will be follow the under this spaces. Okay, now this will return. Return is also another keyword about the Python. Return means the function, what the function is written. Whenever you print this function, if the function has written something, that will be printing on that after the print statement. Suppose you have a print function. If you print this get my name, if you create my name, and that case, suppose if you run this scale, you will see that Aminuddin as a be printed, and because this function return. But what will be happen if the function is don't return anything? Suppose sorry guys, okay, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, okay, and you are writing A plus B, you didn't return anything. Means what is the meaning of this? If this function is wrong? No, this function is not wrong. But if you print this function and you will get nothing, means you will get nothing, means you didn't return anything. When you didn't return anything, this function, whenever you call this function, or whenever you print this function return none instead of return something, because you didn't return here anything. If you return like this a plus b, in that case your 3 as output, because you're returning a plus b, and a plus b is meaning that 1 plus 2, and that case you will get the 3. Okay. Python has a very popular function, name is help. Okay, suppose last time I using the absolute function is a function to be get some absolute number. Everyone know that absolute number means they are only giving the positive number. But I told you about the absolute function. After the 1 to 2 days pass, you to forget about the absolute function. Why are you using the absolute function? Then Python has a help function to checking the what the function is about. Suppose you have to check the absolute function abs by using the help function. If you run this cell, you can see that it will give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry, don't using the brackets. This this will give you the information about the function. They say that this is the built-in function, and it is the return the absolute value of the argument. Absolute value of the argument means if you pass any value under this absolute function, it will return the absolute value of argument. Suppose you pass like mean and you say the help function, it will return the this definition, means the mean is the like the with the single trivial argument return the its a smallest item. You passing many any number under this as argument, it will return the smallest number. So that is the function it will help you to get the information about the any function. But sir, what will happen? Suppose I using the add, or I want to check the whenever what this is the absolute function is a built-in function. What will happen if you passing the get name? What will be happen if you passing the get name under the help function? What will happen? Okay, this only indicate the help function. This help function is under the module in the main page, but didn't give you the lots of definition about the things. But if you want to add this definition for your own function, then you have to be add something like this by using the not double quotation and again and you have to put the information about this function. This function return Amin as output. Suppose I use and this is called the doc string. This is called doc string. Okay, this is called doc string. Whenever using the triple quotation mark, it will be using a doc string, and whenever you run this under the help function, it will return as a information about the function. And you say, sorry, I didn't run this function first of all. So whenever run this function, it says that this is the information about the function, and that is called the doc string. Okay, so this is the something that we are going to use. Okay, now in the last case, you in the print statement, you will see the print 1, print 2, print 3. You will see that every print statement will be displayed in the next line. So you can be, if you want to add all 3 variables in a one line, you can be used like print 1, 2, 3, and you run this cell, you will say the print 1, 2, 3 in a one line. But if you want to be add in a one line but 3 print statement, what will be happen? Suppose you print 1, print 3. Okay, print has a extra argument. It's called int. By default, int value is this, means every time the new line will be printed whenever the print statement will be repeat again. But by default, this is called. But in this case, you have to use a space. In this case, the 1, 2, 3 as an output. If you write this, 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 anything. In this case, you will get end with this. Okay. Now this is the suppose if okay, this is the there are another thing is called separation. Suppose you print I don't know 1 and save 3 and save is equal to point. What will happen? I didn't know what will be happen. Okay, means this is the print statement of the print 1, 2 and 3, and this is a separation point. Means you have here by default the separation will be this a space, but if you want to change the separation of your own, or if you are like anything else, then you have to use this separation. So this is a two argument that you have to pass by using the save and the thing. So sir, yeah, the print statement is a built-in function, but and you there is some default int and save function. Sir, can we use that get my name for my function? Can it be possible to be customize some default argument? Suppose you have to write def get my name, and last time you return Amin with it. Okay, now this is your output. But what will happen? Suppose you have to be returned with name, and name or like hello name. Whenever you print this function, and pass a name like Ritvik, and in this case your output will be hello Ritvik. Suppose this argument is like every time you have to pass the argument to call this function. Whenever you call this function like print get my name, what will be happen? It will return an error. Okay, so I have to be case like last time you have to kill by default. The print function also work without end argument, and it will work use the end argument. Suppose I fix this value like Amin. Okay, this function will return hello Ritvik because you're passing the Ritvik. But if you never pass anything, then it will take Amin as a default argument, and it will be the work in my case. So this is the case that you have to pass the variable and pass the default argument by using the value, passing the value in the argument with the value. Okay, this is the case that you have to use the defined function. Okay, right now we are learning function. Okay, whenever listen carefully, just you have to call this function na by using print and get the name. Okay, and last time you this is the output na, and you have to like return hello plus name. Whenever you pass the argument, it will concatenate with hello and return that value. In that case, that's the Ritvik will print hello Ritvik. Okay, what will happen in your case? You have to call this function under the print statement. Then that case you have to get the hello Ritvik. Okay, and for my name, if you want to be pass the default value and default name like Amin, if you didn't pass anything, if you pass any value, it will follow with this thing. If you didn't pass any value, it will return by this by default. You will take the by default name, and Amin is the default name, and you will return hello Amin. Okay, so this is the thing that you have to call. So now you have to create function inside a function. Suppose you create a function, okay, function like get absolute, get square. Okay, and you have and passing any value, it will return and square of 2 and raised to the power. Okay, what will be happen if you call get square of 2? Everyone know that it will return 4, because whenever you have to pass 2 in this function, 2 raised to the power 2 is equal to 4. Whenever using this like thing, this will line. What will happen if you're calling this way? Okay, this is called the function inside of function. Means this looks like a function, but after getting a value returning thing, it will convert you to a number again, and that number you're passing this function, it will return this number. You will call this function and you will see that the 16 will be output, because your passes 2 and 2 square of 2 is equal to 4, and that 4 will pass in again the same function and it will return the this thing. So this is a way to be use function inside of function by using this way. Make sure you have to follow the rule. Okay, suppose you have to follow like returning anything, you have to follow this things. So this is the way that you have to getting this final score. Now I am going to start some boolean and condition operator in the Python. Okay, the boolean is means that suppose there is variable I create a value a variable, right? Till this point I using a value like number and string, but there is other type of value is also possible, it's called true. Okay, or false. Okay, this value is called boolean. If you checking the type of is valid, you see that the type case is bool. Bool means you are using boolean type case. Okay now, so there is its value is true and false, and this type is called the boolean. So boolean is coming when you using boolean means if you are comparing two numbers, the number is true means then if your value is like a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 2, 3 means you want to compare. If you want to print a, it will be printed 5. If you are printing b, it will printed 3. If you, what will happen if a plus b, it will printed 8. But what will happen if you check this a equal to b or not? You have to follow a equal to means you have to assign the value of a, but double equal to means you are going to compare, and that case when you compare a number, it will return the value in a boolean form, means this number is either true or false. Means that case it calls false because this number is not equal to a and b. If you want to reverse, go to the reverse. This if a not equal to b, if you print this statement, it will get the true, because this value says, this condition says that this value is not a equal to b. Other thing also possible, like a greater than b, a greater than equal to b, a less than equal to b, and this thing. There are lots of things will be possible, and their output will be the true and false. Okay, you can also combining multiple boolean value of a and b. Suppose a equal to b. Okay now, this is meaning that a is equal to b or not, and I take another value like c 10. Okay, if you see that this is the true, and another comparing like a greater than c. Okay now, a greater than c. If you are taking like two variables, you have to between these two, you have to either pass and or. Okay, if you want to use and, means this is the true, and is equal to not is equal to false, and this is called false. When two false will coming, it will return as a true, not false, sorry, false and false will return false. If any two value will return true, any value will be true, it will return true. But that case, why? Okay, fine. So whenever you combining two boolean, you have to use and or operator. Suppose if true and false, it will return false. True. So this is the thing that you have to follow by using combining two. Now come to the conditional operator. Conditional operator means to check the condition, this is true or not, checking the condition. So suppose, okay, a is equal to 10 or a is equal to 5, this is value is true or not, this is value is even or odd, is this value is odd or not. Suppose you create a variable, not going to use this, and passing a variable a, and you have to check passing variable n, and you have to check that the variable n is even or sorry is odd or not. Everyone know that the odd number is that the number is printed, if the number is printed is like number is printed, the number is divisible by 2, then that case if the number is even, otherwise it is odd. Suppose you take a condition, if the condition using the if n mod 2 means the quotient value, if 1 means this is called a convective condition, means if you n mod 2 means you will check the condition, if this is true, if this is true, if this is true, then return what? Then return yes, means this is odd. Otherwise return no. Suppose you have to write this type of function and you have to call RE. Okay, now if you call this function is odd with the first 10 will come and come to this if condition. This is like conditional operator. It works this under this like parenthesis, all the code is under the if condition. This condition code will work only when if this is true, and that case and not 10 is not true. So if you run this code, you will see the output is no. Okay, the output is no. If you pass the value of 9, this is called the yes, because 9 is this condition is true. So there is multiple type of conditional operator is possible. There is possible like suppose s is equal to 9 and you have to pass like if x is greater than 0, then print greater than, oh no sorry, positive, else means if the if is not positive, if is not right, then you have to print the else condition. This is called if or else. Okay, that case will positive. If you write like negative 8, it will go to negative. Apart from if or if, there is called ellipse or else if condition. If x is equal to 9, again if x is greater than 0, print positive. If again you have to follow the condition, if x greater than 0 less than 0, they print negative. Else print 0 maybe. So this number, if you are writing this code, you will see that the number is positive. If you are writing some negative number, the condition operator will check and 7, it will go to for the negative part. If the number is 0, means either this is not right, this is not right, this is not right, then that case else will be printed, and that will be the if or else statement. So this is the basic stuff about the Python. Now the later topic is like little bit difficult because we are going to make understand the collection. Collection means when you creating a variable a is equal to 20, means you are storing one value only. Means whenever you want to store multiple value, suppose like, then that case the list will be possible, and this list will be helpful for the creating a multiple variable in a one place. Suppose the variable like names, and like in the previous you have to use like this way, but you have to create a names and you want to be take multiple, then you have to follow the list. Okay, so we are going to learn the list here. Okay, suppose you are going to creating variable names, and you have to create a multiple variable by using the brackets, and you have to pass the value like Amin, Richa, Ahad, Vasudha. Okay, suppose, and later like Rinku. I don't know who is Rinku. Okay. This is another kind of variable. Means this time you take only one variable and create multiple value, and we and store multiple value in one place. Okay. If you printing names, you can see that the name will be printed Amin, Richa, Ahad, Vasudha, and Rinku. So this is the way. So this is the name is printed. So I am going to be add multiple names like Zeba, Rohit, Akash. Okay. Multiple name will be printed. So this is the list. The property of a list follow indexing. List follow indexing means list follow indexing. Like suppose you want to display only the Ahad, only print the Ahad name, not printing completely. How this possible? So list will be possible with the indexing, means names this way and follow the position of the value. Now the position of Ahad is 1, 2 and 3. You have to follow 3. But and in the programming language, the number is not starting from 1, but the number is starting from 0. The number is starting from 0 is like Amin 0 position, Richa in 1 position, Ahad in 2 position. Instead of 3, you have to write 2 and print 2, and it will get Ahad as output. Now, okay. So this is the thing. If your names will be printed like 5, it will be printed the 6th position name, Zeba. So this is the way to be using the indexing. Okay. You can also modify any value, any indexing value. Like I am going to index value is Ranjana. Okay, I using Ranjana in place of 1. Now in a place of 1, Richa is here. Now you have to update the value by the 1, and when you printing the names, sorry, okay, the Ranjana is possible. Means the you can modify the value, any value in a list, and that value means the list are mutable. Mutable is a variable, means you can modify their value. The list are mutable. The list are mutable. Very important concept. So now this is the thing that is possible. Apart from this, this indexing thing, this also has a feature called slicing. Suppose names, you want to display the name Ahad, sorry, this Ranjana, Ahad, Vasudha. So you have to use one is printing the only for the Ranjana, and for the Rinku you have to follow like 4. If you have to 4, you have to print the print. But what will happen? I want to be print Ranjana, Ahad, and Vasudha and Rinku both. Then you have to be written 1, make a slice of 4 from 4. When I'm starting from 1 and going from 4. The problem is a Python, the 4 is an excluded here. But if you want to print Rinku, you have to, instead of 4, you have to use 5. And that case, you have to get Ranjana, Ahad, Vasudha and Rinku in this way. If you take another slice like 3 to 5 and 3 to 7, it will be written this way. If you don't want to be put anything in the end of this case, it will means it is starting from the Vasudha and take all the value of this list. Okay, if you taking not from the like this way, and 3 means it's starting from the 0 and take the third position, and it will be like printed Amin, Ranjana, Ahad and Vasudha. So this is the way that you taking the slice. Okay, list also follow the negative thing. Like if you're taking negative 1, means it is getting from the Akash, because it's starting from negative this way. Okay, means the negative operation is also possible, is getting from 5 and taking from the negative 1, and it will be written Zeba and Rohit, because negative 1 is excluded here, and that if you're taking like negative 3, negative 4, it will be printed Rinku, Zeba, Rohit and Ahad. So this is a way to be using the slicing thing. Okay, and also already told the list are immutable, so that process thing. Okay, now list has some basic function, and the function are, suppose there is a list is this. Okay, if you want to be, suppose you want to be list, display the list. If you want to be like length of take the list names, so this will return the how many item in the list, and it will return 8. Okay, suppose I create another like nums and pass value 1, 6, 2, 7, 8, 3, 4, 11. This is some number. If you want to print nums, if you get the number. Now if you print, sorry, not print, if you take the length of nums, you will get 8. Now if you like what, okay, apart from these things, there's some function is also possible in the for the list, and if you want to be pass nums, you will get the summation of complete number, which is the 42, like this. You don't have to use anything, you just pass sum and pass the number easily. Okay, and previous I also took the max. If you pass the sorry, you return the maximum value in the list, and that is the 11. and the mean is also possible in the nums. Okay, now this is completed. Apart from this is some list function. We have a list method also. Okay, so just adding.
Sir,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
sir, can't include here print process. How it prints?
Okay, but tell me. I will give you list. Okay. Okay. This is a feature of Colab, or this is a feature of Notebook. If you only have one variable, if a to 1 and you only was to use a, it will be printed a directly. You don't need to be print a. Okay, now you don't need to be print a. Okay, now if you have a multiple value, like we want to print a and you want to print a plus 2, then you have to use the printer statement. But if you have only one value to as a printed, you don't need to be printer statement. Just pass the variable name, it will print directly. This is a feature of Colab, or this is a feature of Edu-Vitae notebook. Okay.
Sir, but in the case of any another software, we must include this.
Yeah, definitely. I hope you understand this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a feature because this Jupyter notebook is very handy, and this is a very helpful tool. Like this is also support the self thing. Only if you using this, you have to only run this code, not run this code. This is some feature about this like uh, Jupyter notebook. Okay, now let's talk about the list method. Okay, now again I am going to be like name. You will create all the names will here. Suppose you want to be add multiple names, so you have to have some function. Suppose names dot, sorry, apart from this I didn't tell you that about this. That the one more function is there. Suppose you want to be like sorted this number nums, if you have to call the sorted function and will sort this number by using 1 to 3. There is some basic function you have to use in regular way in the data set, that you have using this function regularly. Now come to the list function. If you want to add names, don't append one value, one more value. What? Hitesh. You will say, and we have to reprint the name. You will say that Hitesh will be added in the. Okay. Okay. Why this printing is not single line? Give me. So I don't know why this printed is this way, not this way. So in this case, the Hitesh will be added in the end of this list. If you want to be like names, removing some last element, you have to be write pop thing. Okay, Hitesh will be removed, and now we will check the names. It will return all the values, but the name will be written with only the for the Akash. If again we return the pop and name, it will return the name. The Akash will remove from the end of the text. Apart from this, there another function is called index function. If you now in names want to index like Zeba, and you print these things, it will return the position of the Zeba. Now the 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is generally used for the searching, and this is called the index function. We have to use in this thing. Okay. Suppose names dot index, I use Kajal. Okay, but Kajal is not listed. You print in these things, it will return an error. It will return an error. So it is like not like a handing. If you want to be overcome with this error, then you can use this way like it return false, and if you this false, and then you will have to use this case. So you have to be merge these two codes, and in this case, if Kajal in names, then print names dot index of Kajal, else print Kajal is not found. Kajal is not found. So this is it. Okay. Now another type of things is possible as same seems like a list, and that is called tuple or tuple. Okay. So yeah. I forget about this one. String can be also possible with a single quotation mark. Okay, na. If I forget to say about that, you have to mark this part. String is also possible with a single quotation mark or double quotation mark. Both are the same. Okay, now tuple. So this tuple things is the same as, suppose you now you create like Avengers, and last time I using list, but this step you have to use brackets and a small brackets, and you have to put like what Iron Man, Hulk, what Thor, I don't know, I think say Black Widow, I don't know what their name, Black Widow. Thanos. Okay. So this is some Avengers name. It is looks like a same. If you print like Avengers, it will return all the value. But this only everything is same as a list. The only the different is like that. List are tuples are immutable. Immutable means, let me understand what is the meaning of that. Means last time you can see that you can update the value of list, but if you okay, if you Avenger like 1, it will return Hulk, that's good, it will return. But if you update the value of 1 with like my name, it is not possible, it will return error, because tuple are not support assignment, because tuple are immutable, and also Amin is not Avenger, it is not possible also. So that's because of this is one difference. And second difference is you have the one difference is you have to use parentheses instead of bracket, and you have don't upgrade the value of the list. This is the two difference only in the like the tuple as compared to the list. Okay, if create a list like nums like 1 2 3, okay, and print num, this is a printed. If means this and this both are the same, this and both are the same. If you don't believe in my case, let's check their type. Okay, both are the tuple. So this is the thing. So now come to this next topic, we call the loops. Okay, loops. Suppose already have a name variable, and this is a name variable. Rohit already done. The variable are something like that. If you want to print all the name and you want to iterate all the name one by one, and that you have to be used like a for loop, and you have to use name in names, means you have to create a temporary variable name in the name variable, and if you print the name, this is the way to be using the for loop. Sorry guys. So there is one way to iterating the name by using the item directly. If you want to go with the range value, suppose for I in range of length of what? Names. Now last time name will be iterating and it will return the name Amin, Ranjana and Ahad. But right now you have to use I in range. Range means range from 0 to this length of the names, and it will be print names I. This is the both are the same, but the first case you don't follow the range, only follow the list item iteration, and this case it will follow. If I change to the range value, sorry, of 2, so only Amin and Ranjana will be printed. If the range value is like 6, not 6, 5, then still the Rinku will be printed. Now every number range value starting from the 0. If you are starting from position 2, then you have to follow 2 to 5. 2 ahead and so on. Suppose you have to follow like 6 or 7. Maybe this will be written. 2 to start from 0. Now you have to starting from 0. Starting from the 0. Now Amin, Ranjana, Ahad, Vasudha, Rinku, Jeva and Rohit are printed. Now I am going to skip only the even. I am going to only print the even number of points. Now I am going to taking the step from 2. It will go from Ahad, Amin, Rinku and Rohit. Means by default there is one is calling. By default there is one is calling. If you want to upgrade the value, it will update this. If you want to step 2, it will go for the step 2. This is the way that using the for loop. Okay. Suppose you can also you can also compress the code by using the for. Suppose I create a variable like nums is this 1 2 3. Sorry. Create a nums like 1 2 3. Oh sorry. Like directly call the range function. Yeah, definitely I will repeat this. Okay, basically the range function means if you're ranging like 7, means the range going from 0 to 7, 0 1 2 3 4 5 2 5 6 7. You can also modify the starting point. By default 0 is the starting point, and it will taking the step by 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4. If you're taking a starting from 0 to 2, it will going starting from the number 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5 and then 6 and then 7. It will, you can also by incrementing number. Now incrementing number is 1 by, but if you pass another argument 2, it will incremented by the 2. I hope you have resolved your confusion. Okay. Now this is the range function. Also you are storing the number like a range of function. क्लास क्लास चल रहा है ना, फिर आपको बात करेंगे. Sorry guys for disturbance. This is a child in my house. Okay, now the 0 is 10, and the nums will be, it will also be storing the number this way. It will be, no, actually I'm little bit confused. Sorry, suppose I have some number, okay, this number, and it will be 1 2 3 and 7, and you can use like update the value like 4 I in range of length of nums, and if you want to be like take a variable like, बात में आइए, क्लास ले रहे हैं ना. Give me 1 minute guys. Okay, now I'm going to be like nums, and okay, this number nums I and asterisk asterisk 2 means double asterisk 2 is means क्या है, this number will be like squaring a number, and it will store in the square form, SQA, and okay, if you printing this thing, it will write all the number will be square, so you have to write 3 lines of code. Okay, now I'm going to compress these lines of code in a one lines of code. This is the line. So both the code are same. If you like, why this is why this is okay, guys. Actually, I'm a little confused. I will solve this thing in a later class. I think I just confused in this area. Okay, so this is the way that you have to be like. Okay, I will update this function in later class. Okay. Okay, now. So this is the thing that you completed. Now the last topic is dict, and the last topic is dict and string. Okay, now. So I'm going to be like add string and dict. So only the 6 minutes are left, guys. So I'm not going to be start this string and dict. It will take 10 to 10 minutes to 15 minutes to complete these topics. So I will start these topics in the next class, and I don't want to be like start these topics nowadays, because it will take 5 to 6 minutes or 10 minutes maybe. So it is not good to be start in the last minute. So only the less in the introduction of Python, only the this last topic is left, and we will complete this topic in the next class by the starting period, and after that our data science course and the data science things will be starting, and we will continue this course in the next class. So if you have any query, then you have to